What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with another video on the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about a subject that actually ties back to a video that we did nearly a week ago now, but it's referring to the Thunderbolts movie that is coming out. But we did actually say this in our video that we did nearly a week ago. It was a Captain America New World Order plot leak that actually somewhat seems to be real, because pretty much one of the only credible scoopers is now saying a bunch of information about the Thunderbolts movie that lines up with the information that we spoke about Captain America 4, which means that information in that video must somewhat be true at some level. So yo, what is freaking good, YouTube? Warstu here. If you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel DC pop culture based content that we try to cover on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below, do you think this is real? So many people have been talking about this. Also, something I've noticed in the last week on Twitter is a bunch of people have been dropping information like it's new information, even though we went over this information literally 6 days ago or so. And also, if you could check us out on Twitter, Warstu. But more importantly, please follow us on Instagram. Please. If you want to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Right, let's go over the information. So, it starts off with Wakanda Forever. In Wakanda Forever, they are essentially fighting over Vibranium, which King T'Challa, Black Panther, rest in peace, he was actually gonna share the technology, share the Vibranium to the world. Then essentially the plot of Black Panther 2 is they're not going to share any resources. Queen Ramona essentially died because she wouldn't share her resources with Nemours people, essentially. So, what's going to happen? A new metal is going to appear. I already played the clip at the start of the video from the scene from the Eternals, which is meant to be how Adamantium, I said it wrong on purpose, the claws of Wolverine is going to be introduced into the MCU, and essentially a big plot point for Captain America 4 and also for the Thunderbolts movie is going to be getting control over the metal that Wolverine's claws is made of, because I can't say Adamantium right to the level that I like to say it at. So we found out who the villain is for the Thunderbolts movie. Now, I'm not a Patreon or OnlyFans subscriber, so I won't ever subscribe to anyone's OnlyFans or Patreon, but apparently, according to Daniel RPK, who is the most trusted and the only really reliable scooper in the game, Sentry will start out as a member of the Thunderbolts team. Throughout the film, he will start hearing voices and lose his freaking mind. The Thunderbolts have to stop him at all cost, which is interesting because Sentry is OP. He's like Marvel's version of Superman. So I almost feel like with the current lineup we got, even with Thunderbolt Ross, played by Harrison Ford, they are going to have to somehow either depower Sentry in the MCU or somehow give the Thunderbolts team some item, some weapon to depower Sentry. Almost like they do with Superman in the DC Comics, DC Universe, when they bring Kryptonite to depower Superman. They will have to depower Sentry somehow, or else he's gonna be freaking OP. Now, this is where things get interesting. So, also in the news, and the source is the same person, Daniel RPK. To be fair, if the information comes from Daniel RPK, I trust it pretty much full on. So let's break it down. So according to this source, the main plot of Thunderbolts, which will tie on to Captain America 4, where they're trying to get control over the metal that gives Wolverine his claws, Adamantium. In Thunderbolts movie, their first mission, or their mission, will be to obtain Adamantium from the Celestial, whose body, created by Sersi, has now been turned into an island. I mean, this is a good ploy. This is a good way to bring it in to the Celestials and make the Eternals kind of relevant. So apparently this island is going to be Genosha. So that's according to this information, the island will be called Genosha, which is one of the many homes of the mutants in the comics. So this will be a way of how they introduce the mutants to the MCU. And a few comments in the other video we did that we spoke about, I'll put a card over the top right now. People are like, yo bro, the mutants are already here. Yeah, I get what you mean, but we're not on about Miss Marvel. We're not on about weak-ass mutants. We're on about introducing the full-scale, full-on mutants. And introducing the metal that gives Wolverine his claws is a pretty cool way. I get it. We've got Miss Marvel. There are a few other mutants being introduced into the MCU. I get it. Chill. I understand there's already mutants in the MCU. But They're not doing a full-scale Wolverine recast, and they're not bringing Professor X, etc. over just at the moment. I get it. I do get which mutants are already in the MCU. Yeah, I get it. Namor is a mutant. I get it. Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, is a mutant. I get it. Scarlet Witch, technically a mutant. I get it. Deadpool, technically a mutant. I get it. And we're going to see him in Deadpool 3, but he's not actually in the MCU yet. The same with Hugh Jackman's variation of Wolverine, but we won't really be getting Wolverine until Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, is done playing Wolverine. But it's interesting that he's recently come out and said the way they're going to do it is they're going to use a time travel device.
All because of this device they have in the Marvel world of moving around timelines. Now we can go back because, you know, it's science. And and so I don't have to screw with the Logan timeline, which was important to me and I think probably to the fans too.
So it's not going to break canon from the Fox universe or destroy the epicness of Logan, the canon of Logan that so many people love. So Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts are literally the same movie. Why? Because Harrison Ford, Red Hulk, is going to be in both movies, so they do tie into each other pretty darn well. So I've seen a lot of people talking about how Captain America will form the new Avengers team, i.e. Captain America 4, but we literally said that in the video we posted a week ago, so I don't understand where this information's come from. So the information going around was Sam is looking to assemble a new team of Avengers to take down President Ross in Captain America: A New World Order, even though we literally said that. So yeah, that's one big thing that's going to happen in that movie. And from what the new Avengers team is looking like, it isn't really going to be popular at first. You know, one thing in Captain America film is that there's currently is a world without the Avengers. Sam Wilson finds himself as Cap at a time where there's not an organization of the Avengers. So a good proportion of that movie will be him trying to recruit a new team. And to be honest, I think the new Avengers team is going to be laughable to a certain degree. So obviously Captain America is going to have to be one of them. Shang-Chi, I really didn't like that movie. Captain Marvel, Ant-Man, Black Panther played by Shuri, and She-Hulk is allegedly going to be the next lineup. And a lot of people are not happy going, yo, who gives up about that? Because let's be honest, that is the most disappointing lineup ever, and Kang, played by Jonathan Majors, is going to absolutely freaking destroy you. But realistically, they should bring in the likes of Thor to give it some credibility. Bring Thor in, Moon Knight, that'll make it a little bit better. But the problem is, no one cares. You got Riri Williams coming in as Ironheart. The problem is they need to have an emotional attachment to the characters for people to care. The problem with Tony Stark, Iron Man not being around is no one cares. And Sam Wilson, it is comic book accurate. Falcon does become Captain America in the comics, but at the moment, no one will accept him as the Captain America. Chris Evans is Captain America. And that is why Marvel doesn't really care about Phase 4. The fans doesn't care. So does Marvel care? No, because Kevin Feige has to okay everything. It's all right them coming out saying, yeah, we're going to retcon it. We're going to make everything better. But as I said, Marvel's biggest problem with Phase 4, nobody freaking cared. They cared about the Thor movie, but generally speaking, no one cared because Iron Man's gone. Black Widow's gone. Hulk's essentially gone currently because until they got the Universal rights back, they can't really use them outside of a team-up movie. So they just need to make people care, connect everything together. But I think with the plan, stretching from Ant-Man 3, Captain America 4, going into Thunderbolts, I think Phase 5 is going to be so better than Phase 4. But let's be honest, it couldn't be any worse. So like always, guys, make sure to check out our Ant-Man 3 plot leak, which sounds freaking insane. Check out the other Marvel's videos we've done recently. We're going to be talking about Marvel a lot more in up and coming weeks because there's so much going on and there's so much coming up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So let me know, guys, do you think the plot point for Captain America 4 and the plot point for Thunderbolts, do you think it's cool? It is really cool that Sentry is coming in. There has been names thrown around who could play Sentry. Ryan Gosling's one of them. Henry Cavill's one of them. How cool would it be if Henry Cavill's like, fuck you, DC, and he ends up coming? Sentry, who actually gains his power from the Red Sun, he is literally a carbon copy of the real Superman, but I think Henry Cavill's got too much respect to do that, but that would be a big F. Did that. Ryan Gosling would be cool. It's cool that Marvel's looking at huge actors now, like actors with big names. Although there's no one really in Hollywood that has the kind of power to make you go watch it just because they're in it. They are looking at big actors, and now the contracts aren't to smash you into a 10-year deal. They're much shorter contracts now because otherwise they're not going to get any decent talent. So like always, guys, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Check us out on Twitter at WarstuJ, and I'll catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.